Everyone, it's Kat. So today I have a process video to share with you, and it is making a card. And this is the card that I'm going to create. I created this card for a card set. I'm giving my mom and my step-grandmother some sets of cards that they can give out throughout the year, and this is one of the cards that I made for them. And I really liked how it turned out, so I thought that I would make another and give one to my mom and one to my step-grandmother. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I made this card and let you watch the process. Okay, so to get started, I've got some Altenew Coral Berry ink, and I'm just going to go ahead and color my white cardstock with the ink pad so that my die cut will be the same color as my flower that I'm going to stamp. And as you can see, I've got some Stick It adhesive paper, and I'm just sticking that to the back of my cardstock so that when I do die cut this Mama Elephant Hello die out of the cardstock, it will be the right color and it will have adhesive on the back. So I tried to run this through my Big Shot, and I was worried that it wasn't going to cut all the way through because it's such an intricate little die. So I'm going to pull out my precision plate, which is really good for intricate dies, especially like little word dies and flower dies and things like that. So I've got my precision plate, and I just stuck it to my magnetic plate and added one cutting pad and ran that through, and it cut just fine. So I'm just going to put that away, and then when I pull it off, as you can see, it's gonna, or when I pull off the tape, you'll see that it cut through perfectly. So I've got my little Kaisercraft die release tool here, and I'm just going to poke out the die cut from the die. Isn't that pretty? I just love that die. I actually love all of the Mama Elephant word dies. So now I've got the Avery L Wonky, I think it's called Wonky Stitches. It's in the description box with the other products. But that's what it looks like, and I just love that. I think that's so cute. That's one of my new die sets, and I've been using it like crazy lately. So I'm going to go ahead and put that away. And now I've got the front panel for my card, and this is my card base. And I'm just showing you here how I scored it using my Score Pal or Score Buddy. And now I'm going to use the other part of that paper, that cardstock, to stamp my flowers. And I'm going to stamp 2 of each flower just in case they don't stamp perfectly. I usually do that when I'm stamping, and then I pick the best. And I'm using Simple Florals from the Ton. That's the name of the stamp set. And I've got 2 sizes of flowers. I'm going to start out with the big flower, and I'm going to stamp that in Coral Berry, which is the same color that I just did my die cut out of. And I'm also using a little stamping pad or stamping mat by Inkadinkado, and they don't make it anymore in this size, but they do make it in a 12 by 12 size, and it really helps with your stamping. It makes your stamped image come out a lot crisper and cleaner. And then I stamped the little one in Sea Glass, and now I'm going to stamp the little flower in Warm Sunshine as well. I just love those colors. I think they're so pretty, and they're so perfect for spring. So I'm just putting my stamp set away, and then I'm going to pull out my Big Shot and then die cut these My Favorite Things Royal Leaves. It comes in 5 different sizes, and I'm going to die cut the smallest 3, and I'm going to use some American Crafts textured cardstock for that, and I'm just going to cut 2 of each little leaf, and that's what it looks like. As you can see, it embosses the little leaf lines, which I think is really cool. And when you add that to the texture of the cardstock, it just adds an extra little touch that I really like. And I use scraps for all my die cutting. I don't usually use like a new sheet of paper unless I'm out of a certain color in my scrap bin. So now I've got my leaves cut, and I'm going to move on to my flowers and die cut those. And I'm using the matching dies that go with that stamp set, and they're from the Ton, and I think I mentioned the name, but they're called Simple Florals. So I'm picking out the ones that I stamped the best, and I'm just going to die cut 1 of each of these. If you can hear my dog breathing in the background, I'm really sorry. She's a huge dog, so when she breathes, it's really loud. So I'm going to run that through the Big Shot with the last flower, and then I'll show you what they look like. Now I have a Brother Scan and Cut, and I could have ran them through this or through that, but I just had the dies handy, so I figured I would go ahead and die cut them. So now I'm going to start putting my card together, and these are all the essential elements that I'm using to create the card. And I've decided to pop up the biggest flower die so that it has a little dimension over the smaller two. And I'm just going to start placing my flowers and my leaves in the right hand bottom corner of my card. And I'm using some Tombow Mono Dot adhesive to place those down. And I like that adhesive because if you put it down and you need to move it, you can, but then when it's been sitting there for a little bit, it is permanent. So it's a really good adhesive if you change your mind a lot, especially at first. And I like the little dots because you can roll them off. Like if you put something down and you make a mistake and you decide you don't want it there, you can just take your finger and roll off the little dots and the adhesive will be removable. So now I know where I want to place my flowers and my leaves, and I'm going to pull off the little backing to the foam dots and put down the big flower. And then I'm going to pull off the back of the Stick It adhesive that's on the back of the die cut, and then I'm going to put down my hello. Now the good thing about the Stick It is that when you put it down, see how I put it down crooked? You can lift it up and move it. It's not really stuck down until you really push down on it. So that's another good quality of the Stick It adhesive. So I just use my ATG to stick the front panel down, and then I'm pulling out my sequins, and this is my sequin storage unit, and I have 3 of those. I have 2 for sequins and 1 for beads. And I'm using some sequins by, I think they're by Pretty Pink Posh. I will have them listed in the product listing on my blog and in the description box, but they're absolutely beautiful. I think they're called Sparkling Clear, and it's a mixture of 3 different sizes, or 4 different sizes, I can't remember, but they're just really pretty. So I used little micro glue dots to glue down all of the sequins except for the smallest ones. And for the smallest ones, I'm using Ranger Multimedia Matte. And I have a little bit of a hard time actually getting those because they're so tiny that it's hard to hold them with my tweezers. So you'll see me struggle with that just a little bit. But I did end up making 2 of these cards, and I'll show you both at the end. They're almost identical. And there's my finished card. There's both of them next to each other. The only thing that's different is the placement of the sequins. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Check out my blog for more information. I will see you next time. Bye.